So some of the tasks I delegate are a lot of website design help. I'm not an expert at the technical piece of things. I have a full-on marketing and branding background, so I'm great at that. But to build a WordPress website takes a lot of time and expertise, and something that will take me like 8 hours will take my team like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
finding things like that where I can hand it off to somebody and I can fully trust her to make something beautiful and amazing, that's what I like to delegate.
Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Kristy Yoder, host of the Master Delegator Podcast. The Master Delegator Podcast is for busy and overwhelmed entrepreneurs who want to learn how to become effective in the area of delegation and learn how to hire great virtual assistants to help them scale their business and have more time and freedom. If you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing and don't forget to click the notification bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. All right, let's get started. Hey, I'd love to introduce you to my new friend, Blaire Brown, who is the founder of Visionary Advantages Brand Strategy Group, host of the Curate Your Success podcast, and all around entrepreneur hype woman. Blaire has been featured on Forbes and ESPN Radio for her expertise in marketing. She also helps aspiring entrepreneurs expedite launching their businesses by cutting the learning curve in half through her online course, The Business Launch Lab. Blaire loves all things entrepreneurship and helping businesses elevate their marketing so that they can focus on running their businesses. So, here's Blaire. Hey, Blaire, I am so excited to have you on the podcast show. Wow. You know what? I love meeting new people and not just, new people, but creative and ambitious entrepreneurs. And I feel like you are one of them because if you weren't
Aw.
one of them, I feel like you wouldn't launch different kinds of businesses. And so thank you for showing up today. Thank you for giving me your time. So yeah, how are you doing today?
Oh my gosh, are you kidding? Thank you for having me on your show. I've been looking forward to this all month. I'm like pumped to be here. So thank you for having me.
You're
But yeah,
welcome.
I'm having a great day today because I got to wake up, come into work, and to meet your smiling face on the other side of the screen. So I'm
Aw,
excited
thank
to dive
you.
into this conversation today.
Awesome, thank you. Well, I know we are gonna be talking a lot of good stuff today, but I want to learn more about, your online course. So tell me about the Business Launch Lab.
It is my baby. I'm so excited because I just launched it. And to launch a business launch lab, can you imagine the excitement that I have? So, everybody listening might be wondering, like, what does that even mean? Well, what I found is that so many people I work with, they're aspiring entrepreneurs or they're just new entrepreneurs and they just don't know how to get moving in the right direction. They're kind of stuck in this hobby mode. It's like a trap. They can't get out of it. They're like, well, it's my hobby on the side, or I can never become an entrepreneur just because they might not have the support system. And not everybody does, because being an entrepreneur is hard, and it's something that you have inside you that you really just have to pursue. If you have it, you know it, and you just got to listen to that voice and pursue it. So I built a course called the Business Launch Lab in order to put those steps in order for people of exactly what they need to do in order to cut that time in half. Because let's face the facts, if you're doing it on your own without a guide, you're going to be falling down this Google rabbit hole for hours that turn into weeks, that turn into months, and sadly, it could turn into a year plus, or it just never happens. But if you had a blueprint that walks you through three main stages of how to get through that step by step, wouldn't that make your life like a million times easier? So this is my third business I've started, and I've made mistakes before. I've also made the successes. So I decided to just create this course in order to help people skip the phases of wasting time and to just dive into what works.
Yeah, wow, that is so awesome. So I like that you
Thanks.
mentioned about, other people, they have that entrepreneurial spirit in them, but they think of what they do as as one of their hobbies. They're in, what you said, hobby mode. Why do you think that is? Why do you think some people think that, oh, this is just my hobby? I want to make some earrings just for myself, but I don't really have any plan on selling this on Etsy or whatever. So
Yeah. I think capitalize on it. Why not turn something you're passionate about? If it's your hobby, you obviously are passionate about it because you don't just do hobbies if you don't like them. So why
yeah.
not make some money off of it and make that your job? So I think people get stuck in that mindset because they just don't know where to look. Like, where do you start if you don't have an entrepreneurial family or friends? That everybody's kind of in a different stage in their life, which is normal. That they might not have the steps to take, so they do just kick it to the curb, and they're like, well, 9 to 5 is more sturdy for me. I'm not going to pursue that full time. Or they have the I can never mindset, like that's a trap, and you got to get out of that trap. I'm just going to say it like it is. Get out of the I can nevers and just start thinking. Whenever you have those thoughts in your brain, say, what if I can? Or I can do this. Like, other people, normal, ordinary people that aren't millionaires already, they're starting their businesses and they're pursuing their dreams, and they're starting to get traction on these ideas because they're actually acting on them. So really, it's just a matter of getting out of the I can never, I can't mindset and get into the I can. What's my next step? And then start taking those steps. Small things every day, just small little steps. You don't have to recreate the wheel overnight, but you'll start to see it add up and start to become something that's real.
Yeah, that is so true, and I totally agree with you. Some people just don't know what to do. They have this passion, but they don't know how to convert that into something that will, give them like a consistent income on a monthly basis. And sometimes
Mhm.
they don't really want to get out of their comfort zone. They don't want to take risks. They don't want to take challenges, and just like what you mentioned, there is that I can never mentality, trap
Mhm.
that is currently stopping them or hindering them from pursuing
Mhm.
their goals. And that's what led you, into creating your online course, right? To help those people who are currently, you know, don't know what to do, they don't have support, and they just need somebody to show them, exactly the step by step, like what you said, the blueprint on how to get something done. So let's
Mhm.
talk about, I don't want you to give everything away in your, in your, in your course, right? So, could you tell us, maybe just an overview of how
Sure.
we can launch a business from scratch without taking so long, by cutting your time in half?
Yeah, well, it's 3 phases, and I will give you the grand overview of it. So the first phase, I call this the profitable service business blueprint. So basically, the first step is getting out of that hobby mode that we've been talking about, okay? So become official. What you need to do is make your business official, like, registering it with the state and, like, figuring out what that means for you and your business specifically, because it's gonna be different for everybody. So finding out how to register it, make it a real business, open up that business bank account, even if you're putting $5 in it, okay, just open it, because then you're real. It sounds funny saying that you're real, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But you'll start treating your business, that business idea, like it's a real business. So if you become official, phase one, that is so critical because that gets you out of that mindset of I can't, because you're already doing it. You already are doing, like, you're already official, and you can do that so quickly, and it's not hard, which is surprising to a lot of people because I think they get frozen in this dilemma of like, oh my gosh, there's so many things out there on the internet. How do I, like, which one's the right one? Who do I listen to? Because in this world of a million freebies and, like I said, Google and email lists, it gets stressful. So get past that. Just make sure you find the right path, make it official. The second part is figuring out a way to consistently attract your clients. And to do that, you need to set up your branding in a very smart, strategic way that's going to speak to your target audience. So you'll come up with who your target audience is. You're going to set the foundation level for your branding. You don't have to make a billboard tomorrow, but just set up your branding. So that way you're confident that, okay, this is my target audience over here. This is my branding. How can I make the two meet in the middle and connect and have my message resonate with them? So you're going to set that up in phase 2. Phase 3, what we're going to do is we're going to simplify and streamline your processes, which Kristy, you are a master at, the master delegator. So basically, it's all about setting up your business to where it can run while you're asleep. Obviously, you have to set this up, but if you can streamline your processes in smart ways, you could do it at a low cost and make it simple for yourself, because if you're starting out your business in these 3 phases, you want to make everything as simple as possible for the long run, so then you can focus on growth. So those are the 3 phases in
I
a
love
nutshell.
it. You know what? My motto in life, even when I was young or like in my teenage years, don't make
Mhm.
things complicated. That's why I like
Yeah.
what you said here about, just simplifying everything, streamlining, and, in the first place, you need to have processes, because if you don't have processes, you don't have anything to simplify or to streamline, you need to know, what you need to have in order to run your business efficiently.
Are you sick and tired of being overwhelmed and afraid you'll never scale your business? Meet Smart VAs. Unlike many virtual assistant agencies that only assign one dedicated virtual assistant, we provide flexibility for growing businesses by assigning a team of experienced virtual assistants that can do different tasks to support your continuous growth. Visit smartvas.online to book a free discovery call and start growing your business.
And so, in your personal entrepreneurial journey, how did you do these things? Like, how did you simplify your processes?
Mhm. So it took me a while, I'm not gonna lie, because my first business, I had a handbag business whenever I was 16. I sold purses online. I did that for 8 years, very long time.
You
And
sell
but
purses
that's what made me
online.
realize, yeah,
Wow.
I designed them, I made them, sewing machine and
Wow.
all, and I sold them before Etsy existed. So a long time ago.
So you were
And then when
doing this for
Etsy,
8 years. Huh.
yeah. And then when
Interesting.
Etsy came around, I did switch over to Etsy. So I did that. I went into fashion. I had a really great job in fashion for marketing, and I loved it, but I just knew there's always something speaking to me like, you need to get out. And I was like, but why? On paper, everything's great, right? But, I realized, like, I just am an entrepreneur, I can't help it, and so I, started a business with my mom through Amazon FBA, and we sold unicorn party supplies, as one does, and, because we thought, well, unicorns are always in style for kids, so
Yeah.
we did that, and it wasn't profitable like we wanted it to be. It wasn't something you could really that we could figure out, at least streamlining, but what really came around is my marketing agency, and that's when I learned how, okay, streamlining these processes and simplifying them is the move, because I felt a little bit stuck. I was like, okay, well, I have these wonderful clients, obsessed with them. We're doing great things, right? But if I were to get 5 clients tomorrow, there's no way I could do this all by myself. There's just zero chance I could do it. I would be like running even more than I am now, which would be hard to be more than I am now because I'm already like on the run. It just wasn't feasible for growth. And so I thought to myself, how can I streamline things so that way I can actually grow? Because as an entrepreneur, anybody going into it, nobody wants to sit in one spot and just stay at the same income level. You want to grow and make more money and have that
Yeah.
freedom and
Mhm.
lifestyle that you imagined before you even started your business. So that's really what got me to realize, okay, let me simplify my processes and make a game plan. So it started out with, well, I was already official at that point, but it was, okay, how can I streamline my branding? And that's through like marketing, like social media, website, setting up systems and things that are automated. And then after that, the next step that made the most sense was to hire on help. And
Wow.
since then, it's been a game changer.
Yeah. I mean, thank you for being honest. When I asked you this question, you said, it didn't really happen overnight. I went through a lot of stuff, in order to get to where I want to be. And which is something that a lot of people, especially entrepreneurs, need to hear, because there is no overnight success.
Mhm.
Nothing.
No.
If you see someone saying that, oh, give me $5 tomorrow, I can give you $1,000. I'm like, run away. That is so
Run.
that is so fake, right? So,
Yeah.
and also you mentioned earlier that most of your team members, you found them on a website called onlinejobs.ph.com. So how
Mhm.
did you
Mhm.
know about that website? And what was your experience like? Because I have used onlinejobsph.com as well. It's a great platform to really look for virtual assistants, but you also really
Mhm.
need to be picky and be careful, especially when you want to hire the best person to add to your team member. So tell me your experience about that.
Sure. So I found onlinejobs.ph through my brother because he's also an entrepreneur, and he had hired help on that site, and found some really great team members. And I was like, "Well, what does this say?" And I was like, share the links, right?" And so he shared the love on that, and he walked me through just different processes of how he screens employees,
Oh,
and
cool.
yeah, I mean, it's great to have an older brother who's an entrepreneur. I'm very lucky. So he walked me through how to do that. And then from there, I was able to hire extra help on things that I wasn't able to manage 24/7. I just had to find tasks in my business to hand off because I realized when you hit that capacity of time and you want to take on more clients, you just have to hand off things to other people. And there are a lot of smart people in this world that can help you out. So don't be too
Exactly.
afraid to hand it off. You're not above it. Everybody needs help,
Well, thank you to your brother for showing you how to
right?
work around online jobs PH. So tell me about
Mhm.
your current screening process, like when you find someone, to add to your team member.
I asked them a series of questions about their experience. I like to see their resume and see if it aligns with the tasks at hand that I'm handing off. And then I always like to hop on Zoom to interview them as well. After they get through the questions through email, then I hop on Zoom to meet them to make sure that we actually, have a little bit of a rapport. We can talk back and forth, and
Yeah.
that it's going to be a pleasant experience because I want to like who I work with. And so I love everybody that I do work with. So I'm very fortunate. And you know, it's great whenever you hire somebody that goes above and beyond too, where they find opportunities that I didn't even see could be improved on. And that's what I've found so far.
That's really good to hear. Um, I feel like some people are lucky enough to find the right team members, to add to their team, and I feel like you're one of them. But I've also heard a lot of, horror stories about, hiring team members. I'm not saying that it's entirely, the team members' fault. That's why it didn't work, but maybe, it's a two-way relationship, right? You have to give and take, and you have to
Yeah.
communicate, and you have to build a relationship with one another. So I'm so happy to hear that you are happy with your team members right now. So
Yeah.
what is that one thing that you look for when you hire a virtual assistant or a team member?
I really like enthusiasm. And, if they're excited about it, I know that they're going to work hard, right? And I work really hard. So I want somebody who's also like on the same team here, like as excited to make things happen. And I know that they're willing to go the extra step, but also I like it if I always preface whenever I'm interviewing them, I'm like, listen, if you disagree with any of my opinions, tell me and I'm open to it because I like their hearing other people's views, and that makes me think more outside of the box, and then it gets us all starting to think, okay, how can we make this better instead of them just doing the task at hand, right? They're constantly thinking about what's next. So for me, my team, because I think because I've told them, if I'm wrong, tell me. I'm not perfect. I'm a human too, and they have told me a couple times, like, we could do this a lot better if we just did this, or they'll just do it better, and they'll be like, oh, I did this today. What do you think? And I'm like, what? That's amazing. So, I think giving up your team opportunities to think differently than you as a business owner, I think that's something important to think about, because yeah, you are like strategizing the big picture here, but sometimes other people can pick up on opportunities that you haven't seen. So if you have a team that's willing to look into those opportunities as well, instead of just like robotically doing the tasks, that's a really like winning team member. So that's what
Exactly.
I try to find. So really just enthusiasm, and then yeah, just once I feel it out, we'll see how it goes. But usually I've had mostly good experiences. I have had a couple of instances, as you mentioned, where it hasn't worked out, but it's learning. It's okay. Like one person told me, oh, it'll take like 3 to 4 hours to edit a video at this length. And I was like, okay, great. Like, here's a video I'd love for you to edit for me. And then after a couple of days, I'm like, hey, when is that video going to be done? He's like, oh, I'm still working on it. I'm about 25 hours in. And I was like, what? That's a huge price difference. So things like that, you just really got to monitor and make sure they are good. Don't make that mistake.
Yeah, I'm sure. I love that you said about I love what you said about, having or giving other people or your team members freedom to think differently than you. Because sometimes us business owners, we are so focused on the big picture, we are so focused on seeing our vision come into life, and we forget about the small details. And most of the time our team members are the ones who are working on those small details, and they know, what we're missing. They know the things that we don't think about, or the things that we miss, most of the time. So
Mm-hmm.
I totally agree with you, just giving them the authority to speak up if they feel like we're doing something wrong, or we're telling them something that may not be wrong, but something that may not be efficient, to your business. So I really like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
exactly.
So what are the tasks that you
Yeah.
delegate now in your business?
Sure. So some of the tasks I delegate are a lot of website design help. I'm not an expert at the technical piece of things. I have a full on marketing and branding background, so I'm great at that. But to build a WordPress website takes a lot of time and expertise. And something that will take me like 8 hours will take my team like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
finding things like that where I can hand it off to somebody and I can fully trust her to make something beautiful and amazing, that's what I like to delegate. So that I have a director of SEO, and she is like manages our team for SEO, and like we work together on it, but she like really knows the ins and outs. So she's great on that. And then things like some social media management as well, like posting things for me, a little light engagement as well to help keep my page fresh.
Yeah.
Those are the main things I'd say. Yeah.
That's good, and I love that you mentioned that, something that takes you 8 hours, other people can do it in just 5 minutes. And it doesn't mean that if you
Yeah.
can do something, it doesn't mean that you should be the one doing it, right? Because in order for you to step up to a different level as as a business owner or as the CEO of your business, you have to let go of some of the tasks that you shouldn't be doing, even though you can do them. And most of us entrepreneurs were multi-skilled. We can do marketing, we can do sales, we can
Oh,
do a
yeah.
bunch of stuff. But the question really there is, are we supposed to be doing those things? If not, then we need to delegate those to other people so that we can really focus on, you know, like what I mentioned earlier, bringing your vision into life. And there's just a lot of, factors to consider when you want to achieve your
Oh,
goals.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly, because you could be thinking of big picture strategies, or you could be in that hamster wheel of posting on social media all day, every day, 7 days a week, or 3 days a week, if that's what you think your quota is supposed to be. I say that in quotes. Um, But you get trapped in those kind of cycles if you don't manage it smart and hire help, because if you can hire help that takes that off of your plate, that's like very important for your business. And those people are very skilled at that, but you're very skilled at the big picture and you actually see the direction that you want to go in. You have to think like that, and let things go.
Yeah, that is so true. So the three steps that you mentioned earlier on how to like cut your launch time in half, I'm pretty sure that
Mhm.
you've practiced that yourself. That's why you're able to do that,
Oh, yeah.
to create that online
Mhm.
course. So what has been your biggest achievements so far by just following those steps or blueprint that you have in your online course?
Honestly, I think that the biggest success that's come from it is, like, growth. Like, I've actually figured out how to, like, scale it in a manageable way where I'm like, have the freedom that I actually dreamed of before starting my business. And let me tell you, it took a long time to get there. But I also didn't have that guidance initially. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just get this guidance together for other people and like show them the way, you know?
Yeah.
So I think for me, it's the biggest success that's come out of it for my journey personally has been the freedom that comes with having everything set up and in place, knowing that tomorrow, if 5 clients knock on my door or I knock on their door and they all say yes, tomorrow I'm going to be equipped with that. And that has been such a relief for me because all the pieces are in place and letting me grow my business, because at the end of the day, you don't want a stagnant business. You want one that's growing as you grow. So that's been really helpful for me. So hopefully everybody that takes the course, they have that same experience as well.
Yeah. I mean, based on your growth right now, if that's the same blueprint that you use, I'm pretty sure that whoever sign up, for your online course, they will also have the same growth as what you have right now, just as long as they follow your instructions, step by step. Yes.
Yeah, it's a follow that, work hard, and you'll have the right systems in place, and you're the systems queen over there, so you understand how it helps too.
Yeah. I won't be able to grow my business without tools and systems in
Mhm.
place and people in place,
Yeah.
Yeah, so where can people find you online?
Sure. So you can find me in many places, but I'll narrow it down. I'm the host of the Curate Your Success podcast. We talk about all things entrepreneurship. So if you are an aspiring entrepreneur, new entrepreneur, or you've been in the field for a while, it's for entrepreneurs. So go tune in there, subscribe. You can also find me at blairebrown.com. It's just my name. Blaire is spelled with an E on the end. So blairebrown.com. And it has all my social media links. You can find it in one spot. But right now, I'm also offering a free training for anybody who is interested in this kind of blueprint to launch their business in 45 days or less. You can actually do that in 45 days or less. I'm walking everybody through the exact steps, how to do it. So that way you can also launch your business soon. And that's at blairebrown.com/invited.
Awesome. I'll include those links in the show notes below. And that
Awesome. Thank
that
you.
free training that you have, that is mainly for entrepreneurs who are about to start their business, right? This is not for entrepreneurs
Yes.
who have already built their business.
Basically, yeah,
Okay.
it's beginner. So if you're looking to start, you don't know where to start, you're trying to ditch that corporate 9 to 5 or get out of that hobby mode, this is for you. So definitely sign
Nice.
up. It's completely free. It's just go sign up and you'll see for yourself.
Awesome. I'll share that link with my friends as well. I have a lot of friends right
Thanks.
now who are aspiring solopreneurs, and they want to quit their 9 to 5 job, but they don't know how because nobody is, telling them what to do. So I'm gonna share that link to my friends as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, thank you so much, Blair, for your time today. I love our conversation. I love everything that you shared.
Thank you.
And yeah, have a great day.
Thank you so much for having me. You're wonderful.